What are some skinny people problems? You have to sit in the middle seat of the car during long trips. Or in the trunk of a sportsback car. Been there, done that. I'd volunteer as a kid hoping we needed it. Riding in the trunk is some movie kidnapping shit. Never got to do it properly, was always the little brother in the middle instead. Sitting on a harder surface, wooden chair or something, becomes uncomfortable much faster than people realize because there's less padding down there. When I was younger, my older sisters hated that I sat on their laps because my bones hurt them. On the plus side, getting punched is only a Pyrrhic victory for the person who punched you. We fit everywhere. As a construction worker, it sucks. Lamouthus. I'm always the guy to crawl into, under, over, just stick your entire arm in this confined space and get your skinny wrists through this hole and then grab the thing, the ducking thing. I like being helpful, but goddamn, you get into some nasty spaces. Speaking of, it sounds like you're perfectly qualified to unclog my toilet barehanded. How much do you charge? Look at this pleb, doesn't even have a family poop knife. Right? Mine's been through my family for generations, don't know what I'd do without it. Hard to float when I swim. Edit, I used to weigh a bit more, think average rather than super thin, and grew up near lakes. I can still swim like a fish, I just can't float. I could sink down and sit on the bottom if so desired. I've lost 80 pounds and the first time I went swimming again after losing most of the weight, I was so confused by this. It had never occurred to me that I was more buoyant when I was heavier. My sister lost 60 pounds a couple years ago. She noticed the same thing when she went swimming. And she also noticed she got a tiny bit shorter. I had an aunt who lost over 100 pounds and I would swear she looked shorter, no numbers to confirm. People wanting to do this shit around your wrists. Not being able to sit on hard surfaces. I lost the padding on my butt and now a bike seat is hell. Have you ever sat on someone's lap just to hear, dude, your ass is so bony it hurts? My ex used to call me Knife Butt for this exact reason. Knife Butt is the coolest superhero name. Cold all the time, give me a blanket PLS. The very first time I tried to diet down to 10% body fat, there were two things people did not prepare me for. 1, being cold all the time, 2, how much it hurt to walk barefoot. My husband lost over 60 pounds a few years ago and was always complaining he was cold. My 100 pounds ass was like, welcome to my world. It's cold and fuzzy socks are a must. Bony shoulders that would be uncomfortable to lean on. One time I did a bro hug with someone I hadn't seen in years and I accidentally stabbed them with my shoulder. Did they survive? Yeah, lol. They were a bit surprised. So was I. So it was just attempted murder then. I never sit in a chair like a normal person. Always shifting from side to side because just planted there hurts. Now if you're on a long flight, whoa mama, my lack of buns are hollerin'. I perch, like a bird or monkey, even in my 50s. I get a certain amount of teasing, especially because I also sort of crouch when outdoors when others are sitting. Mind you, people stop teasing and get jealous when they realize, at 50, I'm in good enough shape it doesn't hurt my knees. Sloth squat. Heels to sky, Western spy. Heels on ground, comrade found. I've never heard these two phrases, but they are great. Thank you for this. Putting extra holes into belts. Putting extra holes into belts, having to invest in a leather hole punch and all to get clean belt holes. I always just dealt with the off-center hole from a drill bit. I'm finally getting fat now though. My weak nerd arms. Why I can make a circle around your arm. Nothing drives me crazier than someone grabbing my wrist. Why do people love to grab skinny wrists? Hard to keep my pants up, I have no butt. I have to wear belt regardless of the pants I'm wearing. I also struggle sitting for long periods of time because of my lack of glutes. Bumping into anything hurts 10 times worse, bone doesn't cushion at all. I had a really skinny coworker once. He slipped and fell at work and people laughed until he didn't get up. Turns out this 22-year-old guy straight up broke his hip on the floor. This is the litmus test to know if you are old. If you fall and people laugh at you, you are young. If you fall and everyone around you gasps and acts concerned, you are old. Unless you're holding a baby. When there's high winds and walking becomes hardcore resistance training. When a large man sneezes near my umbrella, I turn into Mary Poppins. Sit-ups. The way my spine rolls against a hard surface, I just can't. I need to be on a carpet to do sit-ups. Duck. That's a skinny thing. I have never not been skinny, so I have always just been under the impression that sit-ups just hurt. That's why I always prefer crunches. They both work your core more and hurt less. The one problem that drives me nuts is that people assume skinny fit. I work out and exercise, play sports a lot, but when I tell people that, they think I'm weird for working out when I'm already skinny. Also, other way around. I'm skinny as hell but also super out of shape. Being skinny does not equal fit. Same. When talking about wanting to get back into exercising, one friend would always say, "But you're already fit." And I'd have to be like, "No. I'm skinny. Skinny and fit are not the same thing. Did you hear me after walking up the stairs? I'm winded. That's not fit." Are you me? People just assume I can go on hikes and runs, so they don't even ask me when planning. I like being outdoors, not dying outdoors. Yes. I have health problems too, some of which make me unhealthily low weight, and I absolutely cannot just go for a hike. Clothes don't fit as well as you think. I'm also tall, so trying to find pants that fit is a nightmare. Trying to find a 28 waist, 34 length is near impossible for me. So to get the length I want, I have to get the larger waistband all crinkled up under a belt, and the pants still fall down constantly because I've got no hips or ass for the belt to hold on to. People commenting on your weight all of the time. Easily cold, painful to lie in the bath, high risk of pressure sores. Boots never fitting in the legs. Stuart Weitzman has thin boots. A little pricey but so worth it. Edit. These are very expensive women's boots. Leaning your head on my shoulder probably feels like leaning on a jagged rock. Reminder for you all to consume more calcium so your skeleton doesn't try to escape. This is a message brought to you by or Never Broke a Bone. Boxers always right up, cause my hips are bigger than my waist. This is super annoying, but especially when people ask, "Why are you sagging your pants when my pants are normal?" It's my underwear being almost at my belly button. WTF, you're so skinny. Yes I am. How observant. I usually just respond something like, "Yep," and let the awkward silence consume them. Once in HS, my friends decided to nickname me Anna, as in anorexic. I didn't have anorexia, so they seemed to think it was funny and okay. After a few days, I made up some bullshit about knowing a girl who died from it and said they were being disrespectful. They saw through my lie immediately. So I said, if I made that up, it should tell you how much I hate the nickname. They told me to get over it. So I said, okay, fine. Call me Anna. But I'm calling you fat arse and you chunky thighs, is that okay? They got the message then. When you mention how you are out of shape and need to start getting back into regular exercise running, and they just say, but you're thin and in shape already. Your body size is not indicative of how in shape you are, and it goes the other way too. If you are above average in weight, just BC you weigh more than the average person also doesn't mean you are out of shape. Sinking in water. Fat is less dense than water, so not having any means you'll have a harder time keeping your head above the water when swimming.